Yep?
Yeah.
Alright. Hey, what's up guys? Todd here from Wail Guitar, and today we're going to be checking out Wish You Were Here by Pink Floyd. Now, as always, if you could hit the subscribe button and possibly push the little bell notification, that'd be cool. We're always going to be continually trying to bring out new lessons every week. So in this lesson, we're going to be checking out the chords used in this song. And if you want to stick around, we're going to be looking at the two scale shapes that the intro solo is actually played on the acoustic guitar. We're not going to show you the solo, we're going to show you the scales used for that solo, because we really want you to be able to improvise and start creating your own kind of music and your own sort of sound, and we think this is such a great way to do that. So we're going to zoom in a second, and we're going to look at all the chords involved and the strumming pattern. There's two sections in this song. We have kind of what we'll call an instrumental section, which is how the song begins, and then we kind of have our verses, and that's pretty much it. So let's zoom in now and we'll check out the chords. So the first chord we're looking at is an E minor 7. Here we go. So typically the E minor would be played like this with our second and third finger. Because this is an E minor 7, we're going to be playing it like this. We're going to have our first finger on that second fret on the 5th string, third finger below that, and we're going to be having our third and fourth finger on the first and second string on the 3rd fret. Now this is an E minor 7 chord. Now remember, if you're a bit unfamiliar with all these chords, you can go to our wailguitar.com. We have all of the chords you need there. Also we have the Wailing with Chords guitar course, where we learn absolutely every chord and have the full explanation. So anyway, moving on. So that's our E minor 7 chord. We're going to be playing a G chord in this intro part as well. So that's really just simply moving that second finger across to the 3rd fret on the top, G major, and we're also going to be playing an A7 sus4. Once again, that 3rd and 4th finger stay where they are, and we're going to have our second finger, 2nd fret on the 3rd string, 1st finger above that on the 4th string. And if you feel like it, you can mute this top string with your thumb. So when you're picking that, you can pick the whole lot, and you're not going to hear that E string. That's our A7 sus4. Going straight in, we're going to look at if you were just to strum these chords. So the strumming pattern I think would be good to use. On the recording it kind of changes up a little bit, but for now we're just going to go down, 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 up, down, down, up, down, up, and then change to a down, to a G, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, back to E minor 7, back to the G, down, down, up, back to E minor 7. We're going to A7 sus4 after this. Drop those two fingers down. Back to E minor 7. Back to A7 sus4. And we're going back to the G chord for 2 strums. Okay, so now I'm going to show you that little riffy part, alright? So this is how this song is actually played. We're going to start with the 2nd finger on the 3rd fret. Okay, and then we're going to be hammering on the 2nd fret with my 1st finger on the 5th string. So it's... And then we hit the open D on the 4th string, so it's... And then I want you to use your 2nd finger to play fret number 2 on the 4th string as well. So that's how it starts. And 2nd finger, because we're going to be strumming the E minor 7 chord. Okay, so it's... Then we're going to hit this note, the 2nd finger on the 4th string, open G or the 3rd string, back to this note, and then an open. So it was... And that note that you're landing on is kind of thought of as the downstroke of the next chord, then the next chord after the E minor 7 is the G. So we've got... G, back to the E minor 7 one, and again to the G, another one, E minor 7. Okay, so that is now going 2nd finger here on the E note, which is our 2nd fret, 4th string, open 4th string, 2nd finger on the A string on the 2nd fret, and then open A, and then we're hitting the A7 sus4. So that would be a... then we have a little climb up there. So if I'm coming from the E minor 7, A7 sus4, E minor, sorry. And then to the get into the next section. Next section we have, this is our verse. So that was the whole intro. Now this is the verses. This is the verse progression. We have a C major chord. We have an F sharp over D, which I play like this. Okay, some people might like to play it like a normal D major and have the thumb over the top. That's fine as well. I just particularly like this one for some reason. The next chord is an A minor / E, which is an A minor with an E in the bass. So you can play with a pick from the open E string here. And that's all of the chords. The other chords that come after that are ones that we've previously done. Let's check out our verse. We're going to do a similar sort of strumming pattern. So we're going to play the C to start with. So this is where it goes. So that was C major, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. F sharp over D. A minor with an E in the bass. To a G. Back to the F sharp over D. To the C. A minor. To the G. And that's the same for every verse. And that's where it starts and it just repeats. So after that we go back into verse 2, then we have the instrumental part again, as the same as at the start of the song. We have a verse 3 after that, and then another instrumental, and it fades until the end. So that's all the parts of the song. Awesome guys, so now that we've checked out the chords, you've looked at the strumming pattern involved with this, we're now going to look at some two scales in particular that we're going to use to improvise over the top of this chord progression. So these two scales are pentatonic scales. I'm not going to say they're pentatonic major or minor, because they're with the pentatonic scales you can use that they are both major and minor shapes. So we're going to be referring to shapes and patterns a lot. You know, with the chords we looked at our chord shapes. Now we're looking at the scale patterns we're going to use. So the first one we look at is kind of G major pentatonic, and then we look at the relationship between that and E minor. So E minor, G major, exactly the same pentatonic shape, you just start on a different note. So we're going to zoom in right now, look at position number 1 and then position number 2. Here we go. First up, I'm going to explain to you how to play E minor pentatonic position 1. Now this is the same as G major pentatonic. So E minor is G major's relative minor. What that means is that they share the exact same notes. It's just the starting note and the resolution note that changes. I'm going to explain more about that when I start playing. So we're going to start with our open E string, the thicker string. Now your third finger is going to hit G, the 3rd fret. Just think about these as finger numbers actually. So we're going to go open, 3rd fret or 3rd finger. Then we're going to go to open A string, 2nd finger, open string on the D, 2, open, 2, on the 2nd string will be open, 3, and then open, and you can go up to the 3 here as well. So that would be, if descending, we're going to start on the 3rd fret, so 3rd fret, open, 3, open, 2, open, 2, open, 2, open, 3, if you were to be playing it sort of in the key of E minor. Now, if you were to play that over this song that we're playing, Wish You Were Here, is in the key of G, if you were to play it in the key of G, it would sound as good and work as well together. You would just finish that scale here, as opposed to the open E, okay? So that's position number 1, what I would call pentatonic minor position number 1, okay? Let's look at position number 2. So we are still going to start with the open thickest E string. The second note, whereas before we were playing through this area, now we're looking at position 2, which is kind of more here, okay? There's actually 5 positions. This would be position 1, 2, and it keeps going up the next. So position 2 would start with the open E, then 2nd finger on the 3rd fret, little finger on fret number 5, 1st finger fret 2, on the A string, little finger same string, fret 5, next string, back to the 1st finger on fret 2, and once again little finger on fret 5, 1st finger fret 2. Now we're going to move our 2nd finger up. Normally it looks like the 3rd finger should go there, but we're going to move our 2nd finger to fret 4, because on the next string we want to bring our 1st finger to fret number 3. And then we're simply just going to go 1st, 3rd, 1st, and 3rd. Okay, I'm going to descend that. On the way back down, the 3rd finger goes back. probably play that just a little bit quicker there so you can hear how it sounds. So that sounds like an E minor because I'm resolving on the E minor. If I started it here on the G, same shape, but stop on the G, it's in the key of G major. So as you can see, the relative major and minors, they work together. It doesn't matter kind of if you're an E minor or a G major, you can use the same two shapes to scale, to solo, I should say. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to play the backing track. I'm going to show you how to start soloing with that. Okay, so here's the backing track. We're going to start, if you're first just getting used to soloing, I would just start by just playing the scale and see how it sounds. So starting from the, let's go from the G, starting from here, playing that first shape. Okay, you could even just start by one note and just try to get some interesting sounds rhythm-wise. So I'm literally just playing the scale shape. Let's go to position 2 now. Now we're in the G major, so I'm going to start with the second finger on the G. Now you can kind of link them two together, like a slide in between. So you just have to visually see those scale shapes, and you can see where they can link together. That's kind of showing you, I mean, you can sort of see the actual solo of the actual song. It uses these two scale shapes, and I'll sort of show you how that looks for those of you who know the song well and can kind of already see the link between these two. Okay? Okay, so it starts off in this way. When it comes back in, here we go. Pentatonic stuff. So you can sort of see that they are playing like a little bit more than just individual notes. They might double up, like flat some notes like this to kind of get a cool sound happening there. Same again over here. So there's a lot you can do with these scale shapes. So I would start, if you're brand new to it, just start with getting used to hearing what one sounds like. Then practice position number 2. Plenty you can do there. Keep practicing that scale, have lots of fun with it. Awesome guys, so that is the tune Wish You Were Here by Pink Floyd. Really hope you've enjoyed learning the chords and a bit of the strumming, and also not to mention the soloing and the improvising. So remember, go get that backing track and just play over the top of it as much as you can. Just play those two scale shapes. Lots and lots of cool stuff to work with there, I think. So like always, if you like the video, please subscribe, write us a comment. We'd love to hear from you. Anything that we can improve, or anything that you're digging or that we're missing, either way we'd like to hear from you. So keep practicing, we'll see you next time. Thank you.